Hi, I'm Andrew Smith, Associate Director of Virginia Farm Bureau's Governmental Relations Department.
And I'm Stephanie Kitchen, Assistant Director for Government Relations. Welcome to week 2 of our General Assembly updates. We're going to jump right in this week. Andrew, last week we mentioned some of the bills associated with the WIP 3 plan. Can you give us an update on those?
Sure, Stephanie. As you mentioned, we did talk about these last week a little bit, and these are the things that we talked about WIP 3 in our regional meetings. We continue to see some bills and we're evaluating bills on WIP 3 and working with the patrons and trying to understand more of the implications of those. I did want to mention 3 of those bills. 2 are working on the same thing, and that's House Bill 1422, patroned by Delegate Plum, and Senate Bill 704 with Senator Mason, the patron on those. And what those bills do, requiring nutrient management plans on farms 50 acres or greater dealing with the Chesapeake Bay region. So it's really important that we evaluate those and work with the patrons, because these can have major implications on the agriculture community. We understand the intent, but it's always the devil's in the details on these. And also these will deal with stream exclusion for operations with 20 cows or more near streams. I also wanted to mention House Bill 1497 with Delegate Mugler being the patron. This deals with the contract applicator requirement. When using a contract applicator on 50 acres or greater, the farmer would have to have a nutrient management plan. We don't believe that the bill right now gives the latitude dealing with modern agriculture, things like precision ag, that we think is a good thing. But not every site is the same when you're in the agricultural field. Fields are very different, so they need the latitude to be able to do real-time decisions, and we don't think the current bill allows for that. How about you? You've had some bills in committees this week. How's that going?
We saw some action. The first one I want to talk about is House Bill 119 by Delegate Knight. This one is going to be of interest to our dairy producers and references an issue that they've been dealing with for several years, mostly at the federal level, and that's the definition of milk and labeling of milk. This bill would create a definition of milk that is similar to that of the federal definition. It would define it as the lacteal secretion practically free of colostrum from a healthy hoofed mammal, which does mirror the federal definition. It would require the VDACs to develop an enforcement plan for that definition here in Virginia, which is something that our dairy producers have been in favor of for many years. The contingency of this bill is that it must be adopted by 11 of 14 states in the southern region before it to take effect here in Virginia. So while this bill did pass out of the House Agriculture Subcommittee, it still has a long way to go before actually being implemented in Virginia, but it does send a good message of support to our dairy farmers who are facing tough times right now. The second one I want to talk about is Senate Bill 262, which brings back an issue that we dealt with a lot last year, and that's the creation of a special elk license. You might remember last year, this one did see a lot of action, a lot of talking about this bill last year, and we've worked with the patron and other stakeholders since we heard that bill in the Senate committee last year to make it more in line with our policy, with our Farm Bureau policy. It would create a special elk license in the elk management zone, so we would require a special elk tag to hunt elk within the counties of Wise, Dickinson, and Buchanan. However, it does maintain the ability to hunt elk on a deer tag outside of the counties mentioned in the elk management plan, and it does restrict the elk management plan to those 3 counties. So it is consistent with Farm Bureau policy, but we are keeping a very close eye on those bills as well. And we should have more updates for you coming out in email this afternoon, so make sure you keep an eye out for that, and we'll be back next week with another week 3 video update.